Hi guys.
What is going on?
Yo, it's been such a long time. Oh, it's only been what, 10 minutes since the other
Right,
show,
right. If that.
right? If that. Hi, Joe.
How you doing? Feel
Pretty good.
like doing another podcast tonight?
Absolutely.
So
So
I guess
down for
before we get digging into the comments real quick,
Mhm.
like huge shout out to Chris Eaton. Hope you're healing well, brother. Thank you for all the sponsorships you do for big homies, and honestly, like thank you for all the sponsorships and everything you do to help out all the other podcasts. It's really awesome. And if you haven't checked out Chris Eaton, he does a humongous amount for veterans. So super cool. Go check out Chris Eaton. And once again, uh, and thank you, Shauna, for holding up while Chris is recovering. We appreciate that.
Mhm. We love you, Shauna.
Definitely.
Yeah. And
Oh
Chris.
wow. Yeah, Chris is fighting hard, man. He's healing up. He's doing stuff for everybody. So that's awesome. And you
Yeah.
know,
I
and
kind of.
Dickie, thank you, Dickie, for jumping on again. Thank you, Mitzi, for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Lung
Carl.
wants to support
Hey,
Duval,
Will.
Carl,
Oh, my tablet's ahead. So I see the comments a little bit ahead. Duval.
right? Will's in here. What's up, Will?
Hey, Will, brother.
What's up, Jamie?
Jamie. Purple
Feel
heart.
like I'm gonna miss somebody in here. Like we got a ton of people.
Carl.
What's up,
Uh,
Flora?
okay. There's hippothongs here today.
Yep. Hippothongs.
Eight. What is
What's up,
it?
Kate? How you doing? Heck yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people in here tonight. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah, you guys rock.
Yeah.
Big time. Wow, they just keep coming.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love it.
So, Joe, I thought of, or we talked about, things that we want to handle and things that, in the handling business, should we handle these certain situations? And sometimes you just can't handle it because there's no handle.
Mm-mm. Well, they got
It
handles
doesn't
and
have
they
a
go
handle.
like this, and it hurts.
This lid doesn't have a handle either. I can't handle it. Anyways, yes. So if you guys haven't guessed it, tonight we're going to be talking about tarantulas that you can handle, should you handle, when to handle, and how to handle. You ready to do that?
Heck yeah.
Okay. So I thought that we could talk about the certain species and then do the showcase after.
That sounds
Yeah.
perfect.
Alrighty.
Sounds perfect.
Cool. So, what is the species that you like to handle?
Oh, anyone that doesn't want to bite me at that moment, that is happy and not stressed out. No, seriously. Really, it's an individual basis. I actually like to work with the ones that maybe aren't always the happiest. So when you find one that's in a good mood, like some of the different larger bird eaters that can be a little more defensive, but are in a good mood and are actually in that moment, that's kind of nice. It feels real special. But if I'm hands down, Chaco Golden Knees, Arizona Blondes, Chilean Rose, there's a lot of the Gramastola stuff, obviously.
Mm.
Brazilian Blacks, easy win. What is the name of? I haven't got to handle them yet, but I know they're like the American or North American Brazilian Blacks. Is it Mexican?
The core guy?
No, they're a different species.
And it's black.
Yeah, they compare them to the Brazilian black. I can't think. I'll find it. They're something other, I think.
There's the Gramstola iherwini, the Action, the Gramstola Action.
And they're
Um,
non-Gramastola. I
it's
think they
not a
start. Yeah,
Phonopelma, maybe Johnny
that might
Cashew.
be it. Might be it.
They're really
But they're all
dark.
black, like yeah, they're all black,
Oh,
like
okay, the Stan and Darchi.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. Next time I'll remember it like when I'm done, and I'll be like, that's the one.
yeah.
Yeah, anything that's got that really laid back personality. That I mean, in all tarantulas at some point have bad days, and some particular ones won't. So, you know, I've got a Venezuelan sun tiger down here that will absolutely never be handled. That is just not going to happen. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've got a uh, uh, sun tiger upstairs that's just a little sling. It's turned into a spiderling that
Huh.
I don't purposely handle, but she sometimes decides that that's going to happen today, and we both just kind of be gentle with each other, and it works out
Mm-hmm.
for now. So,
Yeah.
um, what about you?
I I'm starting to handle the old worlds, but my favorite to handle, if it would be the Grammostola pulchra, of course. For the arboreals, your basic pink toe, your
Mm-hmm.
basic arboreal. Um, yeah, I think anything in the Grammostola genus and the Aphonopelma genus, you will be good to go. But of course, when it comes to handling, should you or should you not? So you always want to make sure to do these few things. You want to do these steps when handling. So, and you need some tools. So, what you need is your two best friends, your straw, and your paintbrush. You can use either or, like we've talked about in the previous videos. Straw in case of biting, and paintbrush to nudge, poke, tap gently on the back legs. So you always want to start with the paintbrush because it's soft, and you want to tap the back legs of it. And then if you get a feeding response, because that's the first thing they're going to do, they're going to be like, oh, is it food? And then so that's why you have the paintbrush to tap the back leg. Any response, you go ahead. Now, the straw is like your fork and spoon, or your knife and spoon, or fork, your fork thing. That's how you do it. The little thingy. You got to do it this way. But yeah, straw. Now, the reason why I say straw is because tarantula fangs, although they're hardy, they can actually break their fangs if you use a metal tong. I don't know where my tongs are. Actually, I lied. They're right here. So if you use these tweezers or tongs to nudge them, they can always strike back and bite. But Joe has these wooden ones that are actually good because they
Bamboo.
have rubber on the back on them, right? Right, Joe?
Nope. They're straight bamboo.
Bamboo.
So
Okay.
right here, and I'm not sponsored by them. I'm not looking for a sponsorship by them. They're a big name company, Exoterra. They make them. Um, there's two versions, and this is the thicker version. I don't like the thinner version because they're more bendable. I actually like these more because I can, if you go back, and I would highly suggest doing this, go watch the last Web of Wonders podcast that we were on. And on there, I showed a photo of them sitting on them like this. All right. So I can actually safely, because what I'm doing is slightly different than what Kat is going to talk about. I'm handling them in a bad environment, in a tough environment. Man, I really don't sell myself well on doing these show, but really that's what it is. They're stressed out, so sometimes instead of poking and prodding them, trying to get them to come out of one of those deli cups, whatever they're being sold, it's just safer and simpler to lift them up. And what they'll actually do is they will hook their fangs and their front feet around this, and they'll help hold on. And there's enough space here that they can actually balance. And I help them by balancing, and it's a quick lift, gently, and then back down. And sometimes by doing that, I can also gauge how worked up we are. Some of them will start to scramble and get, okay. And I'm going to put the lid back on. I'm going to give you a minute to relax. And then I'm going to see if I can maybe gently nudge you into a catch cup first and transfer you that way. I don't like using a catch cup first in my experience, putting them into a light box, because then I got to get them back out. So all I'm doing is it feels like this is all I'm doing and poking you.
Yeah. And the catch cups that we're talking about is, you have different sizes in case there's an escape. It's in the name, catch cup. So something long like this for arboreals, something short, you just scoop them in there. And then, so you want to accommodate just how they are in their enclosure. They have the accommodation of their living space. You want to accommodate the catch cup, because you don't want something this big and you want to use something like this. And then if you try to catch it, you could break a leg or anything like that. So you want to accommodate that as well.
And it should be size appropriate to what you're getting into, so that way you're not trying to shove like, something this big into an enclosure this big. It's just not going to work. I use fruit fly cups a lot because they're tapered, so it gives me the option of giving them a wider mouth, and they can kind of narrow down towards the end. There are downsides to that, though. If you get the right size in there, they just kind of wedge on the end with their feet, and they don't want to come out.
Yeah.
And that can be entertaining.
Yeah.
Being
So,
very facetious, it sucks, because now you've got an animal there that doesn't want to come out, and you're come on, buddy.
Exactly.
And
So
they're not thinking you're a buddy.
exactly. So that's what we're here gonna do tonight, is show all the steps, show all the situations, scenarios, and everything. One thing I wanted to point out about the arboreal catch cups is there's a trick to it. So if you're trying to get like rehouse an arboreal to another and you put it in a catch cup, always aim upside down. So the hole is right here. Aim it upside down, because arboreal tarantulas, what do? They run up. So that's the first thing that it's going to do, is run up. So if you aim this in the way when you're trying to rehouse, just let it crawl up and you have it in the cup. To get it out and put it back into the new enclosure or whatever, flip it the other way around. So it's, face up. And what is it going to do? It's going to crawl right back up and into the new enclosure. Or if it doesn't want to do anything and you're afraid or something like that, just leave the catch cap inside the enclosure. It'll come out on its own, and then later you can remove the cup. That's mostly done with spicy ones. Hey, Sir John. How are ya? Thank you for being here, guys.
Buddy.
A few things I wanted to show too. Some other essentials are gloves. Why do we need gloves, Joe?
It keeps the itchy things off of us.
Exactly. The eradicating hairs, which what we talked about last week. So you have the option of wearing gloves if you want to. Should you? Yes, when you are rehousing or cleaning, doing any type of maintenance, because eradicating hairs happens when either they kick off or they make these molt mats when they're going to molt, and they kick off these hairs to make these mats, and that's going to stay in the dirt, in the substrate. So when you're rehousing or when you're cleaning, wear the gloves. Now, this is only for New World species. Along with the gloves, you got the glasses. Joe, why do we need these glasses?
Because it really sucks getting urticating hairs in your eye, or around your eye, near your eye. Anywhere in the general vicinity is just not fun.
Those model people on TV.
And by the way, this is like I want to share this with everybody. I don't care if you, wherever you work, if you wear any kind of gloves for PPE, when you've got your gloves on, don't touch your body or your clothes when your gloves are on. If you're wearing gloves, there's a reason for it. You don't
Yeah,
want the grease, the oil, the chemicals, the urticating hairs, the fiberglass, any of that stuff. You're wearing it to keep things off you, so don't touch your face. That is, I
yep,
have watched that happen with so many different things, and it never ends well.
exactly. Yeah. So when it comes to handling the certain species, and if you're doing your research, it goes way deeper than just handling. It goes in where what species is it? What's the venom potency? Do they have the actual level potency? Do they have eradicating hairs? It all depends. So, for example, Joe, you have a Venezuelan sun tiger, the Psalmopoeus erminia. It's a Psalmopoeus. It is a new world. Although it's a new world, it lacks eradicating hairs. Why does it lack eradicating hairs, Joe?
Because it's got holy crap level bite venom.
Exactly.
It's gonna hurt bad.
Yeah. Now, this venom will not kill you, but it's going to last whole
You
day, maybe a few
you
days.
might kind of wish that it did though.
Mm, right,
You're going to go to the hospital, and it's going to be for pain management. Hopefully, it's not for an allergic reaction,
right.
and that's something that I think people need to understand. So I always use bees and hornets as so there's honeybee venom,
Mm-hmm.
there's yellow jacket venom, which is a little bit more usually,
Yep,
and then there's wasps and different types of big hornets.
yep.
And if you notice, like the painfulness of the sting goes up with some of those. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's that venom potency and the type of venom that it has as well.
Mm-hmm.
So as it gets more potent, your possibility for allergic reaction also goes up,
Mm-hmm.
and the level of allergic reaction you might have. So be
Yeah.
mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to a bite, um, don't worry so much. Benadryl and 800 milligram Tylenol. Make sure you clean that wound. A misconception about people that they hear when they hear they got bit by a spider or a tarantula is, oh, they have necrosis, they're going to get necrosis, their flesh is going to die off. No. If you keep that wound clean, you will not have that problem. Nor should you have that problem when it comes to tarantula venom, because there's different types of potency, there's different types of neurotic symptoms, and what type of venom it does to, what role does it play. So
Hmm.
tarantula venom does not have the ability to cause necrosis unless you have bacteria that's damaging that skin. But tarantula venom does not cause necrosis.
So, for point and example, oddly enough, on a certain show, Web of Wonders, we were talking about a place called Gettysburg. So I'm gonna rabbit hole a little bit into that.
Mhm.
Uh, Go Civil War style, and I think a lot of people already know this, but there'll be some of you that don't. What did a majority of the actual deaths from the Civil War come from? More people died of infection than anything else.
Mhm.
So that should kind of, bullets don't have venom in them. So that necrosis happened because of, like Kat said, bacteria.
Yep.
So not being able to treat a wound properly,
Mhm.
a lot of times is really where that comes from, which is why we always recommend if you get bit, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, especially if it hurts. Head on up to the hospital, know exactly what you're talking about, and say, hey, this happened. I'm not worried. I'm just making in case I have an allergic reaction and just for wound cleansing to make
Yep.
sure that I'm dressing and taking care of my wound properly.
Exactly. Another thing about the wound care is a lot of people think to keep it covered. Yes, keep it covered for the first day. The second few other days, air dry. Let it air dry because bacteria builds with sweat and no
Hmm.
air. So
Yep.
that's another thing.
Yep. And that sweat will trap things too. Your sweat, the oil from your skin, you
Mm-hmm.
know, most wound care usually has something to do with cleansing, unless it is like a big incision that you come in and you get special uh, instructions from your surgeon on how to care for that. But yeah, most scrapes, cuts, things like that,
Mm-hmm.
punctures, you're going to have to wash them.
Right.
Um, and that should go without saying, but yeah, be clean,
Exactly.
people.
Yeah. So when it comes to handling, what is something you should ask yourself before handling when you're looking at the animal?
Oh, wait, I know this one. I know this one. It gets asked all the time. Does it bite? Sorry, I
Yes.
couldn't help it.
Yes.
Every
Why?
reptile person out there that's ever done an expo is either like
Does it
super
bite?
mad right now or laughing so hard.
Right?
Um,
Does it
Everything has the
bite?
potential to bite.
Hmm. Yes. Also, body language. You want to look at the body language. You don't want to just pick it up for no reason. If it's in its hide, don't dig it up unless you're suspicious of something medical, like there's something wrong with it or something like that. There are certain
But
species that are fossorial and they will stay, underground. There are some instances or some cases where you kind of do have to dig it up because, for example, the Aphonopamosymani, they are a fossorial species, and as slings, they will not come out. Like they will starve themselves. So go ahead, open up the burrow, throw some food in there when it's time, and you'll be okay.
I have an arboreal, uh, an Indian ornament or an ornamental, an ivory ornamental,
Mhm.
uh, Paltherius subfacius, fuchsius, fascius,
Sapushka.
um, that one that decided it's a trapdoor spider.
Mm,
Give it all the arboreal it wants. So every so often I have to go and check, like, hey, are you alive, buddies? And
yeah,
make sure everything's okay because it literally has made tunnels. And I'm like, are you sure you're not an electric blue?
right.
It literally has tunnels. It's crazy.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, I have to check occasionally when I don't see more webbing or movement or it doesn't seem like anything's happened in there. And it gets very upset at me and tries to burrow deeper.
Exactly. Yeah, a lot
But
of things would do that. They would, even arboreals, they would make their burrows a lot like it looks like a tree, kind of.
mhm,
So they'll use the dirt, they'll use all the the leaves, everything. They would use that and make like a
yeah.
little burrow and make like a tunnel going straight up.
I've got a smaller regalis that does that. It makes its own little
Yeah.
web home, and it's pulled. And it's funny because I actually have watched it pick up with its fangs, pick up chunks of bark and stuff,
Yeah.
and little bits, and carry it along to make its own little web condo up in the air. But no, the spiderling, the other one, the ornamental, the ivory, no, just straight burrows,
It's a
big
penthouse.
yeah, just tunnels, right? It doesn't go up, it goes down. I
Yep.
went, okay, that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine, I guess. Whatever makes you happy, and as long as you're healthy.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
But circling back to something you said, and I'm
Mhm.
glad you did that because when we talk about the Venezuelan, we can bring
Mhm.
that back up about digging into its enclosure and trying to get inside of its hide and how that's going to work out for you.
Mhm.
The Venezuelan sun tiger has a nice cork tube that it absolutely loves and is completely happy with, and it stays in there 90% of the time. And if you poke at it, it doesn't like it.
Mhm.
And it's not going to work out for anybody.
Yep. So, Joe, are you ready for show and tell?
I am.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Sure, I'll show it. Oh, something I wanted to throw. I almost forgot as I'm about to grab these. So if you notice, I've got some different sizes here. Um, these in particular. So notice one's skinny, one's bigger.
Yeah.
One size does not always fit all for tools. If I've got a smaller spiderling, I'm not grabbing this big honking thing to go and adjust it. I've got a little one, and honestly, I've got a smaller one
I'm
hiding
so
over
glad
here.
you brought that up.
Whoops. made mess. So I've got a much smaller one right there for different sizes. Sometimes I have to go and work with, teeny tiny slings, and it it helps having something smaller. Um, it's less invasive, and there's also two ends to this. So notice there's this pokey end. Sometimes because tarantula hairs and especially the little hooks on their feet will grab, it's sometimes easier to take this end to slightly move a leg to maneuver it, so that way it doesn't get caught on it. When you this is the downside of these, right? So this is bamboo. It's not as bad for their fangs as like metal. It's not as good as a straw. I definitely recommend getting a good straw, like Kat says.
Yep.
Um, but these things right here, they're porous, right? So it can hook onto those little hair ends on their paws, and then that stresses them out because they don't like being stuck. So uh, make sure you understand the animal and how it walks, it moves, and definitely understand your tools.
Exactly. And tonight we're going to show you the different sizes and how you go about them with different species and stuff like that. Which one
All
you get?
right. Well, first off, we're going to take Luna,
Ooh, Luna.
the podcast princess, Sean's buddy here, and we're going to kick her out. Out you go, baby. Because, well, a bite to me would suck. A bite for her would be far more detrimental. And that
Sean.
could result in
Ball.
two animals getting hurt instead of
Yeah.
just one.
Mm-hmm.
And I would far more I've got nice insurance on me. Tarantulas, well, they don't have health insurance. And there's not a lot you're going to do taking it to a vet. They don't necessarily super glue them back together so well. That was a joke. People don't actually super glue your animals back together.
They could do it themselves. They regrow their limbs.
So first off, we're going to look at Spicy Girl here. How are we? Can we see this? And you're going to notice how gently I'm doing this because she is quick. And she's going to be less than thrilled. Let me see if I can see her. Oh, I wonder if she might be getting ready to molt again.
Or molt.
Possibly, because she has webbed herself, and I'm going to let Kat explain this more. But generally, when they web themselves,
Yep.
can you see that, Kat?
Yep. She closed it off.
Yep. So, if I can get right down in there. Um, if you actually look, I think you can see a little bit of her leg sticking out there with the nice orange mark. So,
Yeah.
I didn't see this before I brought her down.
Yep.
She is not in the mood.
Yep. She closed it off because she's getting ready to molt.
So, which is really cool. Um, They are gorgeous, even pre-molt. Venezuelan sun tigers are one of the reasons I love them is because just their raw beauty.
Yeah.
And like supermodels, they're drama queens. So here is one of my little buddies here, my Arizonas. They like to poo all over. Their favorite thing to do apparently is pretend to be an arboreal when they need to poo.
Right? That's such a weirdo.
It is. Literally just had a poo fest here lately, and I need to pull you out and clean your enclosure, just mostly for my looks. Um, we're going to take you out, and if you've noticed how gently I'm doing this, this would be
Mm-hmm.
something I'd recommend most people to do with gloves. But these are a level 1 urticating hairs. If you can't remember uh, what that means, definitely go check out our last podcast. Kat does an amazing job of talking about that. So I'm going to tap a little bit, tap a little bit. How are we doing there, buddies? We're not really thrilled. You got carried down the stairs. You're not happy about it. I understand.
Slow moving is good.
Mm-hmm. We're not super stressed out. We haven't kicked at me yet. This
It's
one actually
coming.
likes to kick quite a bit. So if you've noticed, I'm easing into this. I'm not just reaching down there, and I'm watching this abdomen right here. See how that abdomen's coming up in the air?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to back off a little bit because the
Yep.
abdomen rises. It's telling me that it might think about kicking. Well, if it's thinking about kicking, it means it's not as happy. When
Yep.
I got in there, it was a little kind of curled up, which tells me that it wasn't super thrilled, but it wasn't pulled in super tight either. And each individual tarantula will have slightly different body language as to what their stress levels are too, even within a species I've noticed. So I like to try to move a little bit sideways. I've noticed that if you push them from the back or push them from the front, that tends to get more of a negative reaction.
Yep.
Sideways is I've kind of found to be a little more neutral.
Yeah.
So, um, and
I,
I'm able
I
to
like
sit
to
here and
tap the tarsals, the tip of their toes, the back legs, the
mhm,
tip of their back toes.
right here.
Yep.
So right now, I would feel fairly confident. Number one, it's an Arizona blonde. They are normally, and do not take this as gospel, but or law, but they are probably one of, next to maybe Brazilian black, one of the least likely to bite tarantulas out there. That does not mean you are not going to get bit. It's just these are the least likely.
Mm-hmm.
I feel fairly confident in here that if I wanted to put my hand down and allow them to crawl up my hand, it would be all right. And
Quote,
generally, go ahead.
quote, docile, quote,
Yeah,
quotation.
very much so. How's the picture of this? I like this webcam way better. We're gonna we're gonna kick up the light just a touch here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so at this point, now this is where on most things I don't have great feeling in my hands from years of construction, so I like to know that I'm being gentle, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to sit there and maneuver you, and you're being very cool tonight. Normally, this would be the point where if they're not in the mood, um, the abdomen's not coming up super high like what it does when it wants to kick. So I would actually, with this guy, I put my hand down. I found that I can just kind of gently thumb you over, and then I flatten my hand out.
Mm-hmm.
I like using two hands, but I'm holding a camera here so you can kind of see.
Yep.
And this isn't his first rodeo. So by the way, see where my fingers are at in this dirt?
Yep.
I'm going to have urticating hairs on my hands, folks.
Yep.
100%. All right, so this is the point in time we have to make a decision. I have gently tapped and is doing everything it can to avoid me. So normally I would tell people make a good decision, let it go.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a great moment. Um, this is not necessarily the perfect time. Now
Yeah.
some of that is because I'm making a little cave with my hand. So
Mm.
all right,
Another
we're
thing
gonna.
to note too is that tarantulas don't like the feel of human skin, so they do try to avoid it. That's why we
Mhm.
say tolerate, because they can tolerate it, but they just don't like it. But they can tolerate it. So, yeah, you're doing a great job there.
So right now, what I'm doing is because I don't want him to fall, and acrylic is not the best thing for them to hold on to.
Right.
Acrylic is a great enclosure for us as humans to watch them. We
Mm-hmm.
love acrylic enclosures for us, but they can easily fall. And so this is how I like to handle. This was his choice or her choice. We're not 100% sure yet, but probably her choice to get on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So right now we're going to kind of pause and see which way you want to go. And yes, by the way, for anybody wondering, I can slightly feel some of the urticating hairs in the back of my left hand here. So let's make some good decisions. Now, my other Arizona blonde female is likes to be handled a little bit more. I think these are actually two different localities. This one is a little bit different in coloration. I'm actually gonna put you down here. So, and now we can get a nice look. Um, this guy likes to move. It
Talk to
wants
us
to
about the
constantly
feeling,
hunt.
Joe.
What's that?
Talk to us about the feeling, Sean said.
Oh, of the urticating hairs.
Yeah.
Uh, so, like I said, I don't have great feeling on the bottoms of my hands here. I don't know how well this is showing how kind of dry and such my hands are. And by the way, at this time of year when your hands are drier, you're going to feel those urticating hairs in a different way.
Yeah.
When it's humid, I feel like they dig a little deeper, your skin's a little softer. But when they're dry like this, I feel that it itches a touch more to me. So it's a different feeling for me personally. And everybody, you're going to have a different feeling. Um, it depends on what your skin's like, uh, what your tolerance level for some of this stuff is. I've worked with fiberglass a lot, so I'm very tolerant of this feeling. But I can tell you when you start stepping up into like the LP I got from you, uh,
Yeah.
urticating hairs are on a whole different level there. Um, the Mexican fire legs,
Oof, brachypelma. Oof, the worst.
yeah, uh, I've had a couple of those be very unhappy, and the minute they got out of their little deli cup at a show, they kicked hairs. It was not a fun day. So this guy likes to move. The fun part is when you get really bright LED lights, I don't know how much you can actually see right now. Um, let's see if we can bring you back here. I'm going to rotate my hand down a little bit lower. They actually have really true blonde hairs on them that are
Mm,
actually a little bit iridescent. Um, Somewhat similar to the Cuban blonde we showed on last show, that you couldn't see very well. Come here, I'm gonna turn you around. So this is the
mhm.
point that I like something wide like this. I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna put a barrier in front of you. I'm gonna bump backwards just a touch if you're feeling okay. And you're just desensitized apparently.
They're very slow moving tarantulas.
Now, by the way, when I get a reaction of it and I try to redirect, I don't continuously push them.
Hmm.
That leads to bad things. So, even worse than getting bit, this thing could bolt, jump off the table, and go kersplat, and then I'm
Yep.
sad that the tarantula's dead or it has to be finished being euthanized. So,
Yep.
um, and you saw how it just jumped really quick. It did
Yep.
not like that movement. So,
Hmm.
gentle, soft, and slow movements.
And speaking very low is another good thing because they are very sensitive to vibrations and air movement.
I'm going to do something. So, if you can watch, see how it paused? It's
Yep.
unsure why that table moved.
Yep.
So, that vibration. Now, I've worked with this exact one a few times, so I know its personality to a certain extent. Um, and the more I work with it, the more I can kind of gauge. Some of my other ones would be gone, and I would be on a manhunt trying to find them.
Yeah.
And when I say gone, I mean, oh god, oh god, oh god, and you'll hear me, quick, cut me to commercial. Oh
Yeah.
god, I'm yelling for my son to come down and help me find it. But
That's
really, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, what I worry about is
yeah.
them hurting themselves. Like right now, it just amazes me they can even crawl up acrylic, but they will slip on it.
Yeah, they will. Because
Another
they are
thing,
terrestrial.
you know, even the arboreals I still worry about. I've watched a couple of mine slide on some glass.
Mm.
Not far, but enough to make me less than optimistic about the rest of it. So we're gonna put you. We do this every time, buddies. Come on, out you go. You're gonna get squished. Come on, up this way, up this way.
I like that
So,
enclosure.
uh, these are a nice little terrestrial enclosure. Um, the only thing I've found out with these is you have to watch, and this is so many different enclosures because there's just only so many ways you can do something. With the little holes here, I have had one get stuck in here a little bit.
Oh,
And so I
wow.
had to stick my hand in, lift them up. I'm sure that they probably could have gotten themselves out of there. I just didn't want to worry about
Hmm.
it.
Okay.
So what about your stuff? What do you have hanging out for us?
Okay. I have a few things. Oh, Riddler. Hi, Riddler. He wants to come out. All right. So I'm going to work on the floor.
Why do you want to work on the floor, Kat?
In case we have a bolt, we're not going to get too far and hurt ourselves.
So let me ask you this question. Was
Yep.
this what we were talking about right here on my table? Like this
I,
table, if it came off this table, it would go kersplat, huh?
not really, because you're in front of it and you have padding everywhere. It could be a fatal. It wouldn't be fatal, but it'll be,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So I asked this a little bit just because I'm trying to, I want people to really think about why you're doing what you're doing. Um, it might not be the most comfortable for us, but it's definitely the safest for them.
Right. Let me
And
just
one of the reasons the table that I'm using is a little bit safer is it's got
the
that
pad.
fake turf and grass all over it, so it's also got somewhere to hold on to.
Yep.
And once it goes over the side a little bit, if it crawls over the side, that that turf becomes loose and they can feel that swing and they slow down.
Okay. So I brought out some different sizes, so I could show you guys how to handle the different sizes and stuff. Um. So we have an arboreal, and here is a vicularia pink toe that we will show you after. We have a small, I forgot the name of it, but it's a dwarf species I got from Tom. The name is somewhere in a list, but if you DM me later, I can tell you what species it is. And then we have a Homeoma species blue. They're very beautiful. So we have sling, tiny sling, a medium sling. Then we have a juvenile Gramastola poker piece, the Choco Golden Knee.
Love
And
those Chacos.
yeah, a Gramastola pokera, Brazilian Black Lab. And Mitzi's favorites, a Mitzi. We have Mitzi here.
Yay!
Okay, so we're going to start from the smallest to the biggest, and then the last one, the arboreal. So, uh, I personally just like to work on the floor. I have padding on the floor. And then let me turn around my camera. Oh, how do I turn around my camera?
Push the button.
Oh no. Push the button. Um, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Okay, back dual wide, back camera. Here we go, back camera. There we go.
You're on it.
Yay. Now I have this needle here to show you guys if you are working with a hot species and you don't want to open the lid per se, you can use this needle to fill up water. And all you do is, fill it up with water and you put it in these tiny little holes. Okay, so here we go. Now I gave all my little brushes away. And at this size, you don't really need to worry about a bite because it cannot penetrate. So on the floor,
Look at you, little buddy.
pokey, pokey, poke. See how I'm tapping the back? Give it a minute to sense its surrounding and give it another poke. There we go. Now you don't want to rush to pick it up. See how the back legs are still on the cup? Let it go on its own. If not, just give it another poke. And there we go. Can you see?
Look at the little heart on the butt.
Yeah. So this is not an elegance, a C elegance. but why does it look backwards on my side? But it has pink legs, and it is a dwarf species, which means it will only get up to 3 inches, or this species 2 inches. And the reason why I'm speaking really low is because they're very sensitive to vibrations, especially the dwarf species.
You know, that brings up, like, I think we've talked about it before. Um, you notice how her hand looks, it's flat, but she's not stretching her hand out. It's not tight, it's not tense. She's not locking her hand up. Even though she's holding it flat, still fairly relaxed. Um, Animals feel that when you make a fist or you hold your hand really flat, if you feel nervous, well, they can definitely feel that. So make sure you're not sitting there locking your hand up, keeping those tendons and those ligaments just rigid, because believe it or not, they actually vibrate a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When you do that. The muscles will vibrate actually a little bit when you do that. And tarantulas and spiders do not like that. Because they know something's not right.
Mm-hmm. So you just want to do it very slowly to go back. There we go. Make sure all the toes are in.
Notice how quietly and carefully she put that lid on, methodically. That's a big deal. I have watched a couple of almost tragedies happen because people rush to get the lid on because they're scared, instead of
Mm-hmm.
just pausing, kind of using the lid to block them from coming back out and just waiting a second for a better moment.
Yeah. And when getting a lid off, look where the tarantula is. If I had started over here, he would have started bolting around. I started out over here. So that's another note that you can take down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's my brush?
And I want to, just because a tarantula doesn't bolt doesn't mean that you're okay to be noisy, to get rough with taking lids on and off. It just means that they're a little desensitized, but you're still stressing them out. And don't do that when you don't have to, please.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to tap the back leg. Saw that bolt?
Mm-hmm.
We're not happy about it. See that?
Mm-mm.
So we're
Yep.
not gonna we're not gonna handle this little one today. Saw those bolts? He's saying no, and that's okay.
Yep. That is, and these are the decisions that you'll see online here. There's humongous arguments about handling your animal, and yes, there are inherent dangers whenever you handle any animal for the own animal's sake. And tarantulas, we've already talked a lot about the inherent dangers of handling them. Um, but definitely making good decisions like this, saying nope, it's not the day to handle. It's not the time to do this. Is if you ever do want to handle your tarantulas, you're going to have to be okay with saying nope, today is not the day.
And this is a Homeoma species blue. They are very, very docile. And for it to be bolting like that, that is a clear sign. No, no, no. Do not want to be handled today.
I got
Okay.
to see a beautiful cobalt today, and I
Oh.
wanted to touch it and I wanted to play with it because it's so gorgeous. It was definitely, and in that species really is not one of the more handleable species to begin with. They want to be, they're totally fossil. They want to burrow. They want to have a nice deep um, burrow, and you know, it just. I even remotely cracked the lid to look at it, and it already started tensing up and started jerking its body ready to run. And I said, okay, put the lid back on, put it back up on the shelf.
That's funny. Now, this is, I want to point out the different temperaments when it comes to male and female.
Ooh.
So, this is a Gramasola poker piece, the chocolate golden knee. The males are very skittish than the females. So, I'm going to tap the back leg. We have a slow movement here.
Ah, such an underrated species.
See how I'm just brushing the back leg? And we are turning around to touch the brush. You see that? That means, are you food? So we are hungry. See that? He's chasing the brush. You see that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There he goes, biting the brush. So we're hungry and we're going to feed. Ooh, look at that, guys. We got a feeding video.
And by the way, I want everybody to know that that is a very, very, very tame feeding response.
Mm-hmm.
That Venezuelan sun tiger I wanted to show you before,
Yeah.
it's like a horror show when I drop anything in front of her.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we are going to drop this right here. Oop. Come on. Seriously, dude. Oh, get it, get it, get it,
So,
get it, get it.
by the way,
Yay.
we've said it before, but tarantulas don't see all that well,
Right.
um, or much at all. Some are more light sensitive than others, but yeah, this kind of shows you how well they don't see. So there are bites that are going to happen if you use tongs that are too short and they come up them, or they mistake you for food and they miss their food sometimes. So be wary of that.
Yeah. I can show you his girlfriend. Where is she? Where's Sweeney? Oh, right in front of my face. Okay. Show you Sweeney. This is his girlfriend. Put the lid on.
What's
No.
up, G-Paw? What's up, Kyle?
Hey, Kyle. What's up, brother? So, please, guys, don't do what I just did. I left with the lid open. Don't do that.
I was babysitting virtually.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Sweeney, the same species, female.
Yeah, Sean, that Choco Golden Knees are very beautiful. For some reason, I think because they became very common in the industry for a while, um, people became, I guess, less enthused about them. But they're absolutely stunning when you really take a good look at them.
I think we picked the wrong day to handle because I think everybody's hungry. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna feed her, I guess. There she goes. Yep, so she was hungry. Another thing to note too is when you see them like on the side, like just uh, hanging out on the side, that kind of means like, hey, I'm hungry. Give me
Hmm.
food. Where's the
They
water?
they will definitely learn that you are the bringer of food.
Yep.
And um, when my Arizonas are hungry, they will come out of their little cork bark and they'll hang out, literally just waiting for me to drop something for them.
Yeah.
Then they'll turn their nose up and tell me it's not the right kind of something till I get them whatever the something is they want. It might be
Right.
spoiled.
Okay. Here is Grim. She's like hanging right at the top. So I wonder if she's hungry too, or oh, that's this corner. Hi, Grim.
Oh, so pretty.
So I'm not going to use my hands. I'm going to use the catch cup. I would use my hand, but I'm going to let her decide.
So I'd like to point out that both Kat and I have said the exact same thing in almost the exact same instance here. We are going to let them decide.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge thing with tarantulas. Forcing them into a situation is going to end badly. Yep, Carl, they're definitely sensitive to vibration.
Hi, girl.
Oh, so beautiful.
And what you want to do is one hand in front of the other. There you go. So yeah, this is basically the disposition of a Grammostola pulchra. Not every pulchra will be the same,
Uh-uh.
but their disposition is this.
I would say a majority of them, most of the Chaco Golden Knees I've run across have been the same way. Most of the Chilean rose hairs, uh, most of the actually I haven't really found Arizona blondes that have been less than happy. So
Mm-hmm.
most of those are. I said there's exceptions. There's exceptional days, and most.
So she is, get this, for her size, she is almost 15 years old.
Oh wow!
Mm-hmm. And because they are a long-lived species, so they
I know
grow
they
very
live up to
slow.
20, but wow.
Mm-hmm. Almost 30 years. Yeah. So,
Really, they're keeping them 30 years. I didn't know that. I thought 20 was kind of the
mm-mm.
really.
Yeah. And males, they could live up to like 10 or 15, but then
Hmm.
after they mature, their lifespan is not that long. So you can have a Grammostola pulchra that's a male for a really long time before it matures.
Wow, these are like the stocata tortoises of the tarantula. 30 years, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And honestly, of all the tarantulas, it's got to be one of the best ones. If you're going to have one for 30 years, a Brazilian black's got to be the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, of all the tarantulas, like if somebody told me you can only have one, I think there are so many amazing ones out there to keep. But for me, even as much as I like the pokies, hands down would be Brazilian blacks.
Yep. The goth tarantula.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're
I
like,
think they're like the poster child for misunderstood tarantulas because they're kind of what people think about um,
mm-hmm.
when they think of a tarantula. They think of something big and black, and they think it's going to eat them, and you know it's going to bite everyone they know. And they're really just a great species to show people that, hey, look, it's
Get down,
beautiful.
girl.
Look at this dark velvety black hair on it.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, don't kick hair. They're not very seldom, do you hear about anybody having any bite issues with them. It's very rare, and they're slow moving, and you can hang out and watch them do stuff. They are out on display a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, girl, you need to get down. Get down, mummies. Get down. Can you get down? No, we're not going out for a walk.
I've had tarantulas that have figured out that they can come out of the side of this
Mm-hmm.
of these little our terrestrial enclosures, and they do. They want to go on a walk
Yeah.
for all different kinds of reasons, I'm sure, but it's just really funny that, something like that can figure out that, oh, if I just go towards the top, I can just walk over the side and I'll get to kind of hang out here.
Right. Okay, so that was a juvenile young adult. And now we go to Mitzi, our adult.
Yeah, Mitzi.
Oh my goodness, so heavy. Look, Mitzi, you watching? There she is. There's Mitzi. And she
So
is a Grammastola proteri.
I want to point out too that everybody, this is really cool what Kat is doing for us right now. You get to watch this live. So many of the other, and there's some great YouTubes out there with tons of awesome information on tarantulas, but you get to watch her do this live. Most of the rest of the stuff out there is recorded and the bloopers are deleted. We don't hide our bloopers.
Mm-hmm. So this ball here. Oh, feeding response.
I love it.
So they actually play with those balls. Give them a ball and they will play with it.
That still blows my mind.
Yeah. So we're not going to be able to handle her because she has a feeding response. And we're going to give her something to eat.
Sean, you jumped.
There
Oh,
she
yeah.
is.
Nom, nom, nom.
Yeah. And let's see if she wants two. Mitzi, do you want two? Because she recently molted. And we're going to give her another. Let's see if she takes it. No? Maybe? No. Okay. Yoink. Let's move on to the arboreal.
Ooh.
So everybody say bye, Mitzi. Oh, so kind of rare in the hobby. So she is a Grammastola rosea or porteri, the Chilean rose hair, and she is about 20 something years old. So the guy I got her from had her since she was a very sling. So all of the surrenders that I have, the 12 surrenders, they are very old. And she is one of them.
I would bring down the salmon pink bird eater, but she is due to be fed, and she has a very strong feeding response.
Mm.
She is a good girl, though.
So we ate last week. And we covered our webbing.
What's going on, James?
But it's opened over here. So that's where she comes out. So we're going to give it a poke. Pokey poke.
Look at
And
those pretty pink toes.
interesting fact about the pink toes is that they are poop cannons.
Yes.
That is their defense mechanism. They like to poop. And because they lack eradicating hairs on their abdomen, they actually have it underneath. And they do this little belly dance on you.
Yep.
Pokey pokes. Poke poke.
There are so many cool types of avicularii species out there. So many different cool pink toes.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, they moved one out of the toe out of the avicularii. It's the Amazonian. It's not an avicularii now, right?
Which one?
They call it the Amazonian pink toe. It looks similar to, oh, I can't think of the avicular name for it, but it's called the cosmic dream pink toe. Looks similar to one of those.
Mm. So
So
they are
if
jumpers.
it's bright or shiny, that's what I look at.
Yeah.
This is an aviculae.
Yes.
They are
So I'm
so neat.
keeping its home relatively. See that? Because they are jumpers. You saw that?
That was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, the first time one of those did that to me in a light box, it scared the living bejesus out of me. I was like, "Oh God, don't fall!"
Yeah. So I have enough experience with arboreals that they will jump.
Yes,
Look at those pink toes.
some more than others for sure.
Yeah. I feel like they have a more orange pink to it.
hmm
But yeah, they are their basic starter kit for an arboreal. And they are in New World. And I think this one is a male. I'm not sure. But just by few hints, let's put some money on it. No kidding.
Oh, so Carl, it's not the type of bird eater you think it is. It's not like a giant bird eater. I mean, the LPs, the salmon pink bird
Oops.
eaters do get large, but they're not like a Sturmey or a Blondie, um, that big. They pretty much are. They'll feed like a lot of the other larger tarantulas. You give them, giant insects, and
I'll
they'll
give it.
smash them.
Alrighty. So we did that.
And
Um,
I've found some of the larger tarantulas and their feeding responses are even a little more clumsy than some of the smaller ones. I've watched them miss and kind of like jump over them. Uh, it it's comical to a point sometimes, but you
I
also
pressed
kind
the
of feel
wrong
like
button.
no worries.
Okay. There we go.
It's
Okay.
properly.
Oh, my knees. Hi. I was wearing the glasses behind the screen. See that? I stick to my word.
It matters.
Yeah. Don't want those hairs. But yeah. Good
Gotcha,
show.
Carl. That's this. Then this is 100% for you, Carl.
What?
Um, so Carl was asking basically do a feeding of the bird eater I got from you, and I was explaining that it's not like the type of bird eater that um, there are so many, and they're not even in the same groups. Different types of bird eaters
Birdies. Oh, okay. Yeah.
um,
I have a
that
birdie.
like the blondies, the sturmies are the like the really big ones. The salmon pink that I got from her isn't that large.
Right.
It's still what about half, a little bit half an up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vanna. So I got the.
Sorry. I wasn't reading the comments.
No, you're fine. That's what I'm for. And Carl was saying that he's like, I'm new to this. I'm like, that's exactly who this is for. That's who we want to talk to. Um, Feeding responses, and honestly, I was telling him sometimes some of the bigger ones, it's kind of funny because the bigger ones are a little clumsier when they go to strike. Sometimes they miss, and
Yes.
it's a little funny, but it's also, you kind of feel like, oh, buddy.
So this is Homer. Me, my Theraphosa I got from Tom. Most of my collection is from Tom Patterson. Hardcore arachnids. Um, so he's one molt or two away to become mature. And when he does, he is my forever I had Henry before, but Henry I gave it back to his owner, Dritz, at dark inverts. And now, so Tom, I'm a, I'm in, we're breeding partners. So if Homer matures, I can breed him with Helena, my female. If she doesn't drop a sack or if she molts out of it, then I have a pair. And let's see if he's hungry or wants to go on a walkabout. Where's my brush? Now, he is a male. I don't really like to handle male sturmies because they are very skittish. So I'm going to put my hand here in case if he bolts. Now, he did eat the other day, so. You see that no response? I don't like that. A no response is a response. So that is saying, Now I'm going to go this way. I don't like that. That makes me nervous. That no response, that's not a good.
100%.
Yeah.
When they pause like that and they don't react to anything, that
Sketchy.
that body
Sketchy.
language, yeah,
It's sketchy.
it definitely makes me feel like, all right, what are you waiting for?
Right.
Oh,
Especially with male sturmies. So we're going to go and say bye. Bye, Homer. You're a good boy, though. I like Henry. I'm not familiar with him too much yet. Henry, I got to work with very closely. Homer, I haven't gotten the chance to, but we're not going to do that today.
and back to like learn each individual animal's personality because each one of them is slightly different.
Hi, honey. Come here. I know who we can handle.
Ooh.
You see him? Now
Yep.
he's someone I can always handle. This is Riddler.
What's up, buddy?
Python. He is a visual pied clown. Kyle, help me out. I should know this by now, right? Hi, honey.
All right. Well, if Carl wants, I brought the bird eater down.
Yep.
And I've got some extra large dubias here, and we'll see if I think she's hungry. Yep, she's crawling up to come see me, so most likely she wants a num num.
Food. Gimme food. Go
We're
ahead.
still learning. We're still learning each other a little bit. I'm not cat, which I can understand why you wouldn't. Let's see. So I don't like. There we go. I don't like feeding when they're up in the air too much.
What is this?
This is the bird eater I got from you, the LP.
Oh, okay.
Little dubious. So the fun part is definitely she has a hard time seeing. So now she just kicked. All right.
Oh.
So we've gone through this before, and it's quite funny. And then she'll realize sometimes that, hey, and this is back to like some of the bigger tarantulas don't see so well, and then she'll smash it. I got a large.
I'll be back.
I'm trying to remember the type of grasshopper as a feeder I've got up there, and she hated them. And then all of a sudden, she found out like, oh, your food, and decimated it.
I'll be right back.
Look at you. So what I don't like about this light is it's not showing you the actual pinks of this thing. This girl is absolutely gorgeous and has a long ways to go. Will over double in size. Grab another while we're waiting for her. Let's grab another little. Oh, there it goes. She got it. Toss you another one in here. So, yep, there you go, Carl, buddy. Let's see if I can rotate this without irritating her too much. So she would like me to leave, so I'm going to give her a little bit of a, oh, pay attention to the stuff you bring out, folks, because this already had a dubia that she missed in there. So gently, ever so gently. Well, while you were gone, Kat,
Yep.
we only had 3 or 4 more hair kicks, but we found the dubia,
Oh,
and we smashed that. And another good point to let everyone know, I
yeah.
pulled that piece of cork bark that I use for her hide right there out, and I set it up on top of my other little enclosure over here. As I look over, there's a nice big dubia that has been sitting in there that she's missed for who knows how long.
Mm.
Be careful when you pull pieces of your animal's enclosure out that there's no feeder left on the inside.
Right. Yeah.
Get a little colony of dubias that you never thought you wanted.
That's another good point that you brought that out. Leaving food. That make sure you don't leave food in it, because
Mm-hmm.
you can be unaware that if you leave a food in there and be like, "Oh, we'll get it next time." No, you don't know if it could suddenly molt, or because there's been instances where they don't show signs of molting and they could just molt out of nowhere, and that feeder could potentially hurt your tarantula, especially crickets. Worms, not so much, because they can dig and they'll turn into beetles and they can hurt your tarantula depending what size it is. But that's just a general rule. You never want to leave a
Mm-hmm.
feeder in while it's molting or anything like that.
Crickets, especially.
Yes.
If you don't know and haven't had the experience yet, crickets are mean. They are carnivorous. They are cannibalistic, and definitely opportunistic.
Hmm.
I did a lot of research on feeders before I actually really started doing much with tarantulas, and found out the damage they could do. And I went, "Oh, okay."
Hmm.
And they're like the worst.
Yep. Yeah. I'm sorry. I was just reading the comments that I didn't get to see earlier.
Carl wants. I like it.
Oh, okay. A
Yeah.
plate size. Yep, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they turn into even bigger. So.
Yeah. Um, and uh, personalities too will change as they get older, in different ways. You know, a lot of people like to say they change with every molt, and that is definitely true with a lot of them. Some are minor changes, some are major. So don't be surprised if, like, I'm waiting for my little Venezuelan sun tiger that's now into spiderling size, for
Hmm.
it to change to be more like the other one over there. Uh, uh, but who knows? It might stay the same. You just don't know. You won't know until you get there. So you got to kind of be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best sometimes with certain species. I have seen some OBTs that are not that bad, that are just a little defensive and scared, and once they get a chance to relax, are fine. They're not necessarily what I would consider super handleable, just because they'll bolt.
Yep.
if they get scared. Same reason that uh, I only have one pokey, I think, that I would worry about getting bit by. The rest of them, I don't think I'd get bit at all, but I don't handle them because it's literally to take them out to move them to a light box or something, and that's it because they're going to bolt and they're going to get hurt.
Yep. So, recap. What did we learn today?
Don't get bit.
Right. So, for the audience, should you handle? When should you handle? Uh, what are the signs of before and after handling? There's a lot of things to remember and know about your tarantula if you are wanting to handle your tarantula. Um, so yeah, this has been a really good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we're
And
off
it was,
next week, right?
yep.
Okay.
Remember, folks, and I don't know, we can't recap this enough. The animal's needs always comes before what we want.
Yes.
That is the one point, like, always drive home.
Yeah,
Safety for everybody.
exactly. Safety on you with the glasses, the gloves, the whatever you feel comfortable uh,
Hmm.
when protecting yourself, do it.
If I had done any more with that bird eater in there, I would definitely have gloves on because that is way more irritating with those urticating hairs and what um, the Arizona is.
Yeah.
So, and with the way she's kicking hairs at me, that's why when you notice I kind of step back and I'm gently closing the door because I'm letting that lid kind of knock those hairs back down and letting them float to the ground.
Yeah.
And when she goes up to the next enclosure, I'm going to try and do it in an area that I can get some either create a vacuum of some type or some kind of ventilation
Mhm.
because and do as little to disturb that dirt as possible. That dirt's going to get dumped outside somewhere else, um, out in the open while I'm clothed and gloved and uh, on with ones like that. If I'm doing an enclosure, I'll actually wear some legitimate goggles.
Mhm. Very important. Alrighty. So what do we have for our next show?
Ooh, what would everybody like to see? Do they want to hear about some different species?
Mhm.
Uh,
I
would
like
they like what cat? What if you broke down some of the different groups like Grammastola versus Brachypalma versus the Psalms versus
oh yeah.
Vicularii, and we could go through the different groups. I don't know them all. Heck,
Yeah.
most of them I can't even say the names of.
Mhm.
You
For
know,
sure.
like fuchsia.
Pulsolatheria sapusca.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I said.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely we could do that next week or the when we come when we return from.
Honestly, I think that would be a really good thing for people to know because I've been dealing with them a lot, and it's still hard for me to remember a lot of the different groups and what makes that group what it is.
Yeah.
So, are some groups mixed where they have arboreal and fossorial, or are all groups strictly one's fossorial, one's arboreal? There's questions, so many
Yeah.
questions.
And there's scientific reasoning behind these different groups that we can get into.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, no. Yeah. So
I
this
think
is
that'd
I
be an
really like
awesome
this
episode.
episode. This is really good. I like it.
Hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So Sean, you want to get in here?
Heck
Say
yeah.
your goodbyes.
Goodbyes.
Hey.
Hey, so Saturday, I know we're not supposed to have a big homies breakdown on Saturday, but we're gonna get our friends together and we're all gonna talk about what we're thankful for, and it'll be during that same time slot. So make sure you guys tune in on Saturday. You're gonna want to catch that. We got a few people coming in, and it'll be interesting to see what everybody's thankful for. If you already know who I am and you want to be on, give me a holler, send me a DM, and we'll get you on Saturday, man. You can talk about what you're thankful about too.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, Joe, y'all had an amazing show tonight, man. There's so much good stuff. I'm gonna be sitting in the editing room for hours tonight.
Dude, thanks, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks to Carol and Duval.
Huge thanks, man. Go works tirelessly behind the scenes. We appreciate her so much. And
Yeah.
Mike, man, you just keep everybody going, brother. We love you.
Yep. And
Yeah.
everybody comments.
And seriously, everybody that jumped in tonight, wow, man. Carl, thank you for coming on and hanging out with us. Mitzi is always, Dickie is always, all the folks that are always just tuning in all the time. Like, that is huge for us. Thank you.
Yes, very much so. And still hanging on. So thank you so much, everybody.
Heck yeah.
Yep. That was an amazing show. Thank y'all for putting on a great show tonight.
Oh man, so some of you folks, like if I don't know you, definitely introduce yourself to us. Like Valentine Pina, like awesome. I haven't seen you on here before. That's awesome. Thank you for showing up. We appreciate you. John, love you, man. Christopher Walker, awesome. Thank you for showing up. Shauna, as always, rock star. So
Yeah.
many. I'm going back through this chat. This is an amazing chat. Thank you all for interacting with us.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So cool.
And the questions too. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Another shout out. Thank you, Chris Eaton. Thanks, Shauna.
Man,
Appreciate you so much.
I'm totally happy that Chris is finally in the rehabilitation part of his recovery.
Yeah,
Man.
that is awesome.
I don't know, man. I probably would have lost my shit. Excuse my language. I would have lost my cool if I had been in the hospital for that long. Because that's a long time to be in the hospital, man. I don't even like being in there for 10, 15 minutes to go visit people or, to get a surgery. I hate it.
Chris is still in there, like helping people out and taking care of people too, which is really amazing.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go backstage. Y'all are free to do as you need.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess got anything else, Kat?
Yes. One more thing. So February 7th, Sammy and I will be at the Nassau Long Island Expo. Yay, vending. So if you are in the New York area, come say hi to us and our other friends there as well, like Kevin Sugar Skulls, Steve SR Exotics, Paul, I forgot his handle, but Lorenzo, Jersey Boys, and there's so many more. Like, if you like tarantulas, Tom Patterson will be there as well.
That's awesome. Definitely go check it out, man. Hanging out with Sammy and Kat is always a fun time.
Yeah.
Hey, and you can take pictures of Sammy. That's always awesome fun.
Right. And my stepson says hi.
What's up, buddy? Dude, her stepdad, super cool dude. Tons of fun to hang out with. We had just such a great time. We rolled around Gettysburg.
What's up, stepdad? All right.
Yeah, we had such a great time hanging out, going to check out all the cool buildings. Man, good times.
Yeah. Well, alrighty then, Joe.
All right, folks. Happy holidays. Enjoy the weekend.
You too. Everyone, good night.
Later.